Hey everybody, this is Soph,
This is Rich.
and we are from across
Across
the
the pond.
pond. How's
Howdy
your
doody. Oh my God, we said it both at the same time. We've missed each other so much, we're just finishing off each other's sentences.
no? How's your beginning of your 2021?
Oh yeah, it doesn't feel like, well, it doesn't really feel like a new year, does it? It just feels samey.
Well, the weather here is trife, so
Raining.
oh man, it's raining, freezing, ice, all that good jazz. So it
Mm-hmm.
ain't really too much to do. I mean, it's football day.
I did have a bit of snow the other day. Granted, it was just a little dusting,
Mm-hmm.
but we had snow. And now
You
it's
had some?
rain. Yeah.
Okay, it's been raining for the last couple of days, off and on. And then it was like 32 degrees out, so it's got like freezing rain, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. That's it.
That's it.
hmm
So what have you been doing then to start your new year? Anything?
it's been really quiet. I'm being honest with you. Yesterday, I slept a day away and woke up, went and watched a movie, and then came home and played around on the computer, and then fell asleep, and then
You
woke
went and
up.
watched a movie? Your cinemas are open?
No, 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 no. I just went and watched the movie.
Oh.
Um, and then me and movies. And then I was fiddling around on the computer. Then I finally went to sleep, and then I woke up like middle of the afternoon, which is not normally like me. So there you have it.
You mean the
And
middle of the
then
afternoon today?
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
like today, yeah.
Well, lucky you. You get to sleep the day away.
I know, right? But that's normal, not like me though.
Well, you must have needed it, as my mum would say.
Yeah, and that's what my father would say. You probably needed it, boy. Slow down. You
Mm-hmm.
are doing a lot.
Well,
How
I've
about
just been
yourself?
doing house stuff, really, moving some furniture around.
How's Alfie?
He is a beaut. He was very tired as well. It must be something in the air. He asked to go to bed early today, which he never ever does.
Oh yeah,
I'm just praying that don't
he's
mean he's up
growing.
even earlier in the morning.
He's growing. That's all.
He is a growing lad. Now, I'm going to
Yes.
jump right in and say, Serious Sunday, we're back on our serious topics. And normally we would
Yes.
say, how's your week or how's your weekend been? What's happened in the news? But I'm not going to ask you what's happened in the news today, for the simple fact is the show is going to be about the news.
Yes.
We haven't mentioned the T word, Trump, or the C word, Corona, in depth for a couple of weeks due to Christmas and New Year. We wanted to keep it lighthearted. And
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to lie, it wasn't even the topic that we had a topic all set up for today. We was good to go.
Yeah.
Literally, before we came to go live and press go, we had a discussion and totally took a curveball and changed our mind and ended up on the news for many
Yeah,
different
buddy.
reasons.
It's time to get it started.
So yeah, we are going to talk about the news, but we're going to talk about it in great depth.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever subject was going to be today, we'll knock that over to next week. So shall I kick it off with the big C?
Man, ladies first. Go ahead, girl.
Corona. Now, as you would say, I feel some type of way about this subject,
I
even,
agree.
even to the point where I wouldn't say it was a disagreement, or a heated debate. I don't know what I'd call it,
I
but
was about to say, was it a debate?
I had a discussion with my father the other day because he said, "Oh, we all know what you think about it. I've watched the show. I've heard what you've got to say. You don't think it exists." At no point have I ever said I don't think coronavirus exists, right? At no point have I ever said that. All I'm saying is people need to be a bit cautious, and the government aren't telling everybody everything, and B, they don't know what they're doing. For example, Alfie's due to go back to school on Wednesday. A lot of schools are due to go back tomorrow. I was going to call him president. The prime minister is saying, send your kids back to school. Or after saying, don't go out of your bubble, don't mix out of your tiers, don't go in groups, don't do this, don't do that. But
Mhm.
send your kids to school. But then he's saying it's up to the individual schools whether they stay open or not. So he's saying send him to school, but it's up to you if you want to close. Alfie's school sent all of my friends so far that I've spoken to, their kids are not going back till at least the end of January. They're saying don't come back till the end of January, or they're going to assess it again at the end of January. Alfie's head teacher sent a message this afternoon. Well, I couldn't tell you whether his school's open or not because I couldn't make arse nor end of it. I had no idea. I literally got so confused. He was basically saying he needs to work out if there's enough staff. Then he was saying if you've received a letter saying that your child is extreme circumstances and doesn't have to go, then don't send them. Then he said something about Boris Johnson. And I was just like, what? Is it open or not? Just so I'm going to have to call them tomorrow and say, I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Well, to help you, the kids here, they were going to school like half and half. And now all the schools is, I think now we're all virtual. Like all of them are staying home and getting it done.
I think it's a bit annoying that he's saying it's up to the individual school. Either close them or don't. You know, it's a bit like the whole tier thing. You know, when we did briefly touch on it the other day, because we'd gone into tier 4 that he made up. It's a bit like saying you can do this, you can do that, and you can do this. Just literally lock everything off. You know, I don't understand why he's so hesitant about it, because when you look at the other countries like China, Spain, whatever, who literally locked themselves off from the beginning, right? Like Spain, they was on lockdown for 28 days. You couldn't leave your house. Then they extended it for a further 2 weeks. They're fine now. The same as China. They're going out. I saw someone in China the other day having a bloody pool party, you know, DJ, lights, crowds, the lot. They're all back to normal.
But I've also saw on the news that there's some countries that are protesting the lockdown for that amount of time as well. So, I mean,
what, that they do or they don't want it?
They don't want it. There's a lot of countries that don't want to be locked down totally for like.
But I'm sure Spain didn't want to be locked down. I know somebody who lives there, and I remember when they was literally the first people I knew to be on total lockdown, and she sent me a screenshot. Oh, you're going to sound like a right heathen now, but she sent me a screenshot saying this is what we got sent and these are the rules. And it basically said you're not allowed to leave your house unless you're going to get food or medical supplies. You can't go to work. Schools are closed. Shops are closed. Only one person per car, right? So I remember reading it out to Michaela and she started laughing. I said, what are you laughing at, dude? She was like, I'm going to see you on the news because you're going to break the rules. You won't stick to one person per car. And I was like, but hold on. I'm a single parent. So if I leave to go to the shop, I have no choice but to take my child with me. So already I've got 2 people in the car.
But I think children are exempt. I think.
Okay, but I'm saying that's just how they sent it to you. There wasn't no small print or no. That's literally how they sent it to you. So yeah, I'm sure they didn't want to be locked down for 28 days. I think the time when it got to them was when they were like, oh my God, they're extending it for another 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, we were on lockdown in the beginning for 10 weeks. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Lock it all down. Don't say, you know, basically what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Make it uniform across the whole country. And also, this bloody vaccine, man. This bloody vaccine. This is the other thing I don't get, right? So here, they're basically saying, a bit like you said, potentially the vaccine's going to be mandatory, right? You have to have it. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave the country or you won't be able to go to restaurants and pubs and blah, 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 right? Why are we having to do that when people like Spain that went on lockdown and they're now clear, they haven't been told they have to have the vaccine? So why are we going to be forced to have it?
Well, I think because there was a thing on the news here where they had a lawyer on TV and they were talking about how is it lawful, is it right for businesses to say we don't have to hire you if you don't get the vaccine, and by law companies can do that.
Okay, but my point is, why aren't they doing that in Spain then, where the corona has been petered out, the lockdown, everything's been lifted, they've got back to normal way of life. Why aren't they having the vaccine then, or it's because they have to have it?
Well, we don't know for sure if they're getting the vaccine. Do we know for sure if they're getting the vaccine?
Even if they got the vaccine available to them, they ain't being told it's mandatory. So that
Well,
makes
it
me think
hasn't been,
something dodgy is going on.
but I don't think it's been mandatory yet. I think they're just talking about it being mandatory. I don't think it's mandatory here because right here in the States, they're having a problem with us minorities wanting to get the vaccine. It's like split down the middle. Just like with the flu vaccine, like there's a lot of people who don't get the flu vaccine.
This is my other point, right? If you get the flu vaccine, which again my father does every year, if you get the flu
Which I do too.
vaccine, you
Mm-hmm.
do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to have the flu jab every year, right? So does that
Mm-hmm.
mean you're going to have the corona jab every year? Because that's a flu type virus. So if you get the vaccine once, are you going to have it every year? If not, what's the point in just having it once?
That's the whole thing of taking the vaccine and starting it. No one knows. First of all, what they're saying is they got to have so many people get the vaccine to actually see if it works. If you have 50 people and you only got 5 who took it, how do you know if it's actually working?
And you're not
Because
going
you
to know.
still
You're
got
not going to know for at least 12 months whether they're going to need it again or not. So boy, all I can see is we're getting pushed further and further back in that queue, mate, because until a year's gone and they start saying, oh, we got to stab you up again, oh, hell to the no.
But then it's a 2 series shot too. So it's one of those
This
things
is my
where
third point. Here we go. So
get in.
my mother visited earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her mother-in-law is in her 80s. Well, so is her father-in-law. But her mum and her father-in-law had the letter to say, you need to come in for your jab, because you're vulnerable. Her mum went in, had the first vaccine, and was told 14 days, you have to come back to have the second part. She received a letter to say they've cancelled the second part of the vaccine.
What do you mean they canceled it?
They cancelled the second part of the vaccine.
So what
They
they
will
saying?
contact her as and when it is available for her to go back and have the second part. So surely,
How long is that first vaccine supposed to last?
this is my point. There's got to be a cutoff. It can't be like, okay, we've stabbed you up once. Yeah, it's all right. Come back in like 5 years' time. But they don't say that. They literally just sent a letter saying it's been cancelled.
Until further notice. Is that what you're saying?
Till further notice, it's been
That
cancelled.
means she's eventually going to get it. I'm gonna just give you a slight story. I was in the military in Iraq, and we were told we were going to get this anthrax shot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it was for like chemical warfare or whatever the case may be, and just in case. And it's a 7 series shot. We got to like 4, and then all of a sudden, I was just like, "Are we getting any more of these shots?" And they came and told us, like, "Yeah, y'all, we don't need that anymore." So I'm thinking to myself, like, so what's that mean for me? Like, does it just wear off? Am I gonna have a kid with a third eye? Or
But this is the thing. Let's say now, touch
well,
wood.
I know that feeling.
Hold on, touch wood and whistle. No, God forbid anything happens. But she's had the first shot, right? What if she gets COVID now? Whose fault is that going to be? Because she didn't get the second shot, right? So is there any way to say that she could get it or not? Now she's had half of
Well,
it.
if she's got the shot and then she's taking care of what she needs to be taken care of, I don't think she's gonna get COVID.
But how do you know if they're saying you need 2 shots to be covered?
Mm-hmm. Hey, look,
Mate, I'm telling you, they're sailing us up the
I'm with
river.
you.
They're sailing us up the river without a paddle. That's what I'm saying.
I just think that the vaccine was rushed and made, and I get it. With the technology we have now, the money they spent on it.
Where's the vaccine for cancer then? They've been
I
looking
feel
for a
like they
vaccine for cancer for how many decades and they haven't found one, yet randomly all of a sudden you're going to tell me they got one for COVID in months. It's all a ploy, I'm telling you. I ain't buying into this Boulder Dash. I just ain't buying into it. And matey, Bojo is making, like you said, Trump, you're embarrassed. Like when he came to England and walked in front of the Queen like an absolute plum, you said to me, oh my God, we was all embarrassed, how he did that. How do you think we feel? Bojo is literally making the UK look like an absolute plum. He don't know what he's doing. He's half-assed information. I swear to goodness, he don't know. I'm feeling some type of way about him, like you would say. He's making us look like idiots. What he should have done was locked us down. If he wanted us to have the vaccine first to look like the big I am, do that. But get your numbers straight. Get your vaccine straight before you start dishing them out. Like there was a thing earlier on the news where apparently they gave so many to different like doctors' surgeries, and now they're saying actually we made a mistake. We haven't got enough. Can you give them us back? And doctors are saying no. I've worked out how many patients I've got with how many vaccines you've given me, and I'm keeping them. I'm not giving them you back.
Yeah, they're having that same problem. They're having that same problem here too.
Let's just check you didn't spill the liquor, did you? Let's get that.
No,
Oh
never
my
that.
god.
But yeah, they're having that same problem here. But the thing that I'm starting to notice is like they kind of since the holidays, they really ain't talking much about it. Like we would get that whole, outbreak scenario every day,
They
every
haven't talked
hour in
about
the hour.
corona or they haven't talked about the vaccine.
They haven't talked about any of it. And if I maybe I fell asleep and haven't been, but to
Okay,
be
but then
honest,
don't you think that's weird? All of a sudden, there's a massive pandemic going on in the world, and all of a sudden, it's gone quiet. It's gone quiet because
no, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying that it's quiet. I just say like they're not. Remember, it was like a big push for all
exactly.
the
But
vaccines.
yours has gone quiet because they're sitting back watching the UK laughing. Like, look at these absolute pillocks. What are they doing? You know, we're basically taking the limelight off every other country
Yeah,
to
because
do
y'all
with
got
this
the new
corona.
strain.
Huh?
Y'all got the new strand, ain't y'all? Y'all,
But
y'all
this is
got the
the
new.
thing. Then there was supposedly another strain from Africa, you know.
Mhm.
Who knows? I swear to God, they're just making it up to save their own backsides.
What do you think is a scare tactic?
I was just going to call you babe then. Sorry. Um, I think it's been that from day one. I've said that. And do you know what? It totally works. The amount of older people, like old age pensioners, when you go out, they literally run a mile if you go within 10 meters of them, never mind 2 meters or a meter, which is the rule. They literally look at you like you've just took out a gun and shot them in the leg. You know, like, oh, don't come near me. And I'm like, oh, mate, you got a mask on. I got a mask on. You know, it's
Mhm.
bizarre. Real bizarre. I
I
don't.
just think they rushed to do it, and that being said, it's making it really difficult because I'm telling you, they're having it's like split down the middle here in the United States where, minority especially ain't feeling this whole vaccine
I
stuff.
want to know what matey got offered to be the first one to have that vaccine in the UK. Because obviously America is like how many sizes bigger than the UK?
Hmm.
So why wouldn't it have gone there first? But no, matey wanted the vaccine to come here first. Why? What did he get? What did he get out of it?
Ain't no telling. Well, no, I'm gonna tell you the reason why
Yeah,
because the
because like, he wants to
FDA
look like the big I am.
because the FDA here didn't approve it right away. See, y'all got it approved before we did. And see, here
Yeah,
the FDA
exactly.
was still approving it. They were still trying to, test it out and they wanted to make sure they had, side effects under control. Because what they're saying now is that you'll have a soreness in the arm, a slight headache for about a day, and then you're
Yeah,
good.
you'll have fever like flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, for like a day.
Yeah, but then what about them two nurses that had adverse allergic reactions? You know, that don't bode well with me either, to be fair.
Yeah, so they're saying if you have like a serious allergic
Allergy,
reaction,
exactly.
say like you're allergic, my friend is definitely ill of peanuts.
I
You
wondered what
blow,
you were going to say then.
yo, he literally like I literally seen he looked like he had two elbows because one of the shells like brushed across his arm and he just was like bloop, bloop, like he had two elbows.
Yeah,
I
my
was like,
mum's got allergic reaction to fish, like her throat collapse up. Yeah.
"Hmm, thank the lucky stars I ain't allergic to stuff.
But then surely that's a contradiction. Let's say you're elderly, like in your 80s, so you're in the vulnerable category, right? But you've got an allergy to, I don't know, nuts or whatever. What do you do then? Do you give it them or not? You damned if you
Hey,
do and damned if you don't.
it's one of those things, you're gonna take a chance. I think if I'm 80, I ain't taking nothing. I done lived my life.
Well,
Y'all
exactly.
need to
You're
get
going to
out my
go
face.
anyway. So,
I'd be like, get out my face. I'd be like the queen. Get out my face.
Exactly. I'll be wanting to enjoy my last few bits. I'll be saying, get me that liquor, get me a couple of cream cakes, steak, ice cream.
Yeah.
Never mind a vaccine. You save your money, love, and get me a ribeye,
Mm,
medium.
mm, mm, mm,
So
mm.
yeah, I don't really know. Hopefully, I'll have a bit more of an update next Friday, and we ain't gonna harp on about it again next week, but it will be in the news clip that we do.
Oh well, now that the new year is over, everybody's going to be back to work on Monday. So
They
of course,
well,
it's going to be running
but
rampant.
we're not back to work. We're in tier 4 lockdown. You can only go to work if there's no way possible that you can work from home.
Well, here in Pennsylvania, the governor here said he's going to open up the restaurants back again and put it back to where like you can now eat in restaurants again, which to me made
What
no
was the point
sense
in
for you to
closing it?
do in the first place. Why would
Exactly.
you close it in the first place if you're just going to open it back up
See,
anyway?
things
It
like
didn't
that
do
also
nothing.
make me think something's dodgy going on. It's like tennis: open it, close it, open it, close it. What's the point? He's going to open it again and then be like, "Oh, we need to close it because there's been a spike."
My whole thing is I wonder what our new president is going to do because he's coming in with a handful of stuff going on. I mean, like he's
When
got
is the
a
date
lot.
that he's actually meant to move into the big house?
January 20th
Okay.
is the inauguration. I can't even say it right now. I'm so heated. Inaugural is January 20th.
Okay, so
That's the changing of the guard.
maybe I don't know what day the 20th is on. Um oh, let me have a
Threw
look.
my calendar away.
Because I'm assuming that when he
Uh,
goes in, he's going to give a speech, right? The 20th's a Wednesday. So I'm assuming when he goes in, he's going to give a speech, right? Saying, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z.
yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, he's trying to hit the ground running, trying to get this pandemic under
Okay,
control.
but my point is, when we do our show then on the 22nd, you'll be able to roll up, and tell us what he's had to say.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Get in, most deaf. I like him.
Hmm. Now, are we good? Can I jump in on my joint? Uh,
You've got a big giant because we've got some not even inside
uh
information, but we got
I'm gonna
some,
tell you, man. I'm
we've
gonna, I'm, gonna- I'm
obtained
gonna
some
tell you.
information.
I'm gonna tell you right now, as a veteran and as an American, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm really disappointed in our present president. To me, he is just downright disrespectful. He ain't thinking about nobody but himself, and I'm just a little over it. I'm a little over Trumplicans, the Trumplicans, the Republicans, and I'm just over it. So in a couple days here, I think Wednesday, we have a runoff election for Georgia.
What does that mean?
Okay. And that means when you have a Republican and a Democrat and they're close in the race, what they do is it's almost like a tiebreaker. Okay. So they have people vote again.
But why would you do
For
that
the
if Matey's already
percentage.
won?
No one's won. That's what I'm saying. It was a close race. So what they do is it's called a runoff, which is pretty much like if you have a tie, they do another vote.
So
You know what I
potentially
mean?
Joe Biden's not going to be the president then?
No, 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 no. This is for the House.
Okay.
This is for the House and the Senate. And I think, don't get me wrong, I think it's for the House. Um, and if the House gets the two votes, then Democrats will have the House and the Senate.
Just don't cover up your mic because we
The
can't hear you being quiet.
House and the Senate. Okay,
Okay.
that means it when President Biden comes into office, if he wants to pass something, it'll probably get done. Period, because it's going to be the Democrats are going to have the majority in the House and the Senate,
And that's Biden.
and that's Biden. Biden's a Democrat, so
Okay.
if the House, well, I think the Senate,
This is confusing.
huh?
It's very confusing
Yeah, it is
if you don't
because the
understand
Senate
it.
and the House are the ones that pass the rules, the bills, whatever that comes in. They vote on it, and they decide what we get. So, like for instance, right now, I think we have the House. Now
The
let me
White
back it up. I
House.
think we have the House. Yeah, no, the House, which is like Congress.
Okay, so he can still live in the White House. You're not on about that house.
No, we're not talking about that house.
Okay.
And then you have the Senate, which right now, Trump wanted to give us a stimulus of $2,000 instead of 600.
Okay.
They passed the bill for the 600, but the 2000 got passed in the House, and now it's just stalling in the Senate because Republicans run the Senate.
That's Trump.
And that's Trump.
But you just said he wanted £2,000.
He wanted, but the Republicans don't. And that's Mitch McConnell. He's the one stalling it right now. So anyway, so now you have a runoff, two Democrats, two Democrats, two Republicans. They're going to vote again in just the state of Georgia. That's it. There is no other campaign. And so you got Trump going down to Georgia. You got Vice President Harris going down to Georgia. You got President-elect Biden going down to Georgia to try to get people to come out and vote for, their candidates, Republican candidates and the Democratic candidates. But what I'm not understanding is you are still the president, and he is just blatantly being a bully. And we have a recording from the Washington Post of our
You don't need to say what it is. Let's just play it and listen out, I think.
Yeah, because I'm just telling you, this is some bullyish type stuff, and this is our president. Hold on, let me get it right.
Hold the line, caller.
Are y'all ready? Here we go.
We have won this election in Georgia based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. Having a correct, if the people of Georgia are angry, and these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Now, do you think it's possible?
Now, let me pause that right quick. The man is telling our president that the data that he's getting is wrong. Okay? Now, he's calling the people, his Republicans down in Georgia. He's trying to get them to find votes to make him president. And the man is being kind enough to even take the phone call. And he's telling him the information that you're getting is wrong.
Sorry to interrupt. When you play it again, can you just move it closer to your mic? Sorry.
I sure can.
Thank you.
Okay. And here he goes. He's still trying to get this man to just do stuff that ain't right.
It's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County, because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
Right, Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
Now, again, he's trying to tell that man that people are telling him that they were moving machines and they moving inner parts of the machines. And the man is telling him, real nice and calm, no, that is not true, President. And this is what I'm talking about,
I
man.
feel like he's clutching at straws, like
He's
really.
grabbing at straws. Let's continue on.
You should want to have an accurate election. And you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, I know you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're up by hundreds of thousands of votes. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense, and you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Now, there you have it. Now that man's kind of threatening him. I feel like, and the key word here is opinion. Everybody has an opinion.
And he said, "On my opinion, based on what I've heard." Now, Chinese whispers is a oh, I can't swear. Chinese whispers is a bit of a. So this is basically what it is.
And I'm gonna tell you, I had talked about this earlier to a couple of friends of mine, and I was like, because I got friends who are Republican, and I don't hate them any less. But the fact remains is that before the election even started, Trump planted that seed of fraud and yada yada yada, and he's the one that told his Trump supporters and the people who were backing him not to do mail-in ballots. This is the first time in American history where we had more mail-in ballots than anything, but that was due to a pandemic. If we didn't have a pandemic, people would have probably went out and voted. You see what I'm saying? So he kind of did a disservice to himself by saying, "Hey, don't mail in your ballot. Go to the polls, yada yada." Because most likely, and this is what he said, most likely the ballots might be corrupt. They might be fraud. He planted that seed before anybody even mailed in a ballot, put in. So that's where these people are getting this whole thing where all the voters being stolen by our president. And what I'm saying to people is, it's over.
Okay, but my point is, let's say he gets a recount, right? If that's what he wants.
There is no recount.
Okay, but let's just say he gets that, right? And he not only either A, has the same answer, or B, ends up getting less votes than he had last time. What's he going to say then?
He did. Georgia recounted twice. And guess what? He paid the second time for him to recount it. And guess what? Biden ended up getting more votes.
But this is what I mean. So at what point do you say, do you know what, enough's enough?
Let's continue on.
So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers. For instance, I'm hearing Ryan, and he's probably, I'm sure, a great lawyer and everything, but he's making statements about those ballots that he doesn't know. But he's making them with such, he did make them with surety, but now I think he's less sure, because the answer is they all went to Biden. And that alone wins us the election by a lot.
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information, and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Well, under law, you're not allowed to give faulty election results, okay? You're not allowed to do that, and that's what you've done. This is a faulty election result. And honestly, this should go very fast. You should meet tomorrow, because you have a big election coming up, and because of what you've done to the president, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote. And a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president. Okay? They hate it. And they're going to vote. And if you would be respected, if this thing could be straightened out before the election. You have a big election coming up on Tuesday.
Now check this out. And this is the thing I don't understand. Okay? Now this is our president. We got people who are, financially in dire need. We got the vaccine, we got the pandemic, and he's still crying about his loss to being president. Now, this is the thing I don't understand. Everybody is on the same ballot. Republicans, Democrats for the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So someone how can the president's vote be fraud, but everybody else's on the ballot is correct? You only get one ballot, people. And on that ballot, you have House, Senate, presidency. It's all on one ballot. It's not separate, people. So if a Republican wins, you got Republicans who won the Senate, but yet the president didn't. How is that to be? Wake up. This is getting ridiculous. And I'm saddened by the fact that the minute this man lost, he just forgot about the country. You know what I mean? He forgot about the vaccine. He forgot about the pandemic. He forgot about people losing business. Now he did get on TV and was like, "Oh, the $600 is a joke. It should be $2,000." Dude, you ain't nobody seen him. He in Mar-a-Lago or something for January for Christmas holiday or whatever the case may be. And the thing of it is, you still president until change the guard. And I just feel like he dropped the ball. And this just right here shows you how he's about himself. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to badmouth Trump supporters. That's not my job. Everybody is given a chance. I believe in that. Like, I didn't vote for him. He got voted in. And guess what? I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But now it's over, man. And I just wish this country would be better off if he conceded and just was mature about it. This whole temper tantrum type stuff, this bullying tactics, and this whole man, these days is over. Now he's telling people to protest and riot, and then you got people really worried about that. You got people really worried about the inauguration and the inaugural, and it shouldn't be that way. Concede and just do what you're supposed to do. And this is the thing: he's losing by the same amount that Hillary lost to him. See, people ain't doing the math. And then he said it was an onslaught. It was a slaughter. You know what I mean? We annihilated Clinton. Hillary. And guess what? President, you know what I mean? No one got mad. You know what I mean? When he ran for Hillary, because President Obama was done. You know what I mean? So it was just Hillary and Trump, and he won by a landslide. That's what he said, was a landslide. Oh, it was a landslide. The same results happened to him the same way that Hillary had. What he did to Hillary is what Biden did to Trump. And yet he don't want to face defeat. Like, look, you did what you could. You dropped the ball on a lot of things. Go out on top, man.
Has Biden had anything to say about it?
Biden, guess what? You know what? Biden had a speech not too long ago, and you know what he said, which was fair. He didn't challenge Trump to do anything. You wanted to go to the Supreme Court, he let him. You wanted to recount, he let him. He wanted him to file all these lawsuits, he let him. All of them got thrown out, one after another. He hired 3 people in the Supreme Court, and guess what? He thought that when he got to the Supreme Court that they was going to help him, and they didn't. You see what I'm saying? Because democracy is there. And it's sad that they're even trying to, there's people out here that's hungry, worried about where they're going to lay their heads at night. But then you got Republicans challenging people in the Senate before this whole about electoral votes, got Pence all in the middle of it. It's a shame. It's sad. It makes us look weak as a country. It makes us look weak. It makes us look like a bunch of crybabies. The Republicans are acting like they're scared of Trump. Some of these Republicans is just flat out scared of Trump. And for what reason, I don't know. Because he's not a politician. He's a businessman. So I don't know if he's got stuff on him to where they're just sitting here like, whatever you say, Trump. And the one news anchor here, I love him to death. He called them Trumplicans. Don't even call them Republicans. Call them Trumplicans. You know what I mean? And it's sad. It's making our country look weak.
But
And you
this
got to
is
look
what I
at all
mean.
these
You're
headlines.
saying he's making your country look weak. That's exactly how I feel about Bojo and us when it comes to this fudging vaccine and corona. So, everyone jokes about how they look the same, they're brothers from another mother, whatever. They were in each other's pockets and they had a thing. And now look how they're both effing up across the pond.
I guess exactly across the pond. And it just saddens me that you put yourself before this country, and this is what you wanted people to vote for you for. You're supposed to take care of all of us, not certain majority, not pardon criminals and killers and people who rally behind you. You want to pardon them. I don't get it. I don't, because I'm telling you, $1 of a donut. If President Obama did that, oh man, it'd be riots in the street. Oh, this, that, and the third. And they tried to dog him. You know what I mean? They tried to dog him. This man got impeached the first 4 years. He got impeached the first 4 years. You know what I mean? Sorry, that's my fax machine.
Is that the president sending you a fax to say, why are you giving away all my secrets?
That's the bat phone. But what I'm saying is, it is what it is. And it's just sad that this man is going through great lengths to overturn something that, to be honest, newsflash, it's already been certified. The Republicans certified it. The Democrats certified it. Every state has certified that President Biden will be the next president. There is nothing they can do. They're just stalling.
I just don't understand why he is, as you say, stalling. Like why he's dragging his heels. He's trying to prove a point that's not there. Surely in the long run, he's just going to make himself look like an even bigger plum.
You know what? You ever heard of the green-eyed monster when people just get so envious? I think he got a taste of power, not businessman power, because he's always been a businessman and he's always had his own thing. But the actual have power, full power to control certain situations, I think it bit him, and he's now not wanting to let it go.
Which is, some people are like that, but I'm saying, at what point would he let it go? How long is he planning on stringing it out for? People, if he did the recounts and they're still the same, did this and it's still the same, at what point is he going to say, okay, fine, I'm off?
Look, check this out. He is going to probably do stuff right up to the inauguration. And guess what? It ain't going to change nothing. It ain't changing nothing. It's been certified. President-elect Biden is going to be president for 4 years, whether he like it or not. And then, if you're such a billionaire, you make out all this money, why are you asking your Trump supporters to support your next campaign or support funding and all that? Dude, you got money? Supposedly. See, my thing is, and this is my opinion, I think that he has gotten himself caught up in a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And when you're a president, you got to understand that you're an open book. You see what I'm saying? Like,
you mean financial stuff?
Financial stuff. Like, this man still ain't talked about his taxes or none of that. And see, when you're a president, it's kind of like an open book. Like, everybody wants to know, like, yo, what you doing?
Okay, so maybe this is diversion tactics then. He's doing it to divert away from the fact that he's got all this money, finance, tax issue underlying on closed doors.
Hey, my opinion, I think he shook. And see, the thing about it, once you're not the president anymore, you just like a regular Joe Smo with just with some Secret Service that's supposed to protect you for the rest of your life. Other than that, you're a regular dude. He gonna go back to doing whatever he was doing prior to presidency, and it might just bite him in the butt. And that's just my theory.
So just to clarify again, where did we get that recording from?
It was a recording from the Washington
The
Post.
Washington Post. It's all right, just in case they come to my door knocking saying we're coming
Well,
to
they can
you.
come to my door. I'm good. I'm good. I just want people to understand that, you know, that ain't no impersonation. That is our actual president talking to, you know, the people in Georgia, the lawyers and stuff in Georgia, and you hear them telling him politely that there was no fraud, there was no messing with machines, and you even heard it out your own president's mouth that it's his opinion.
But why is it
He
just
heard it through the
Georgia that
grapevine.
he's so hung up about?
Because right now, because Georgia was a close and he got a chance to recount Georgia. And then what he did was when they recounted it, he paid to get it recounted again. And then they found out there was more votes, more for Biden. So now we have a runoff that's in Georgia. So he figures if, you know, oh, well, you know, you're hurting, you know, the runoff for, you know, Georgia, you have an election on Tuesday and you're just going to hurt everything. No, it's not. It's not. It's the people's choice. They vote,
Yeah,
not
but if
him.
anything, they're going to get annoyed with him
And
dragging it out.
And I'm gonna tell you, it says it in the news. They're thinking that Trump is just going to hurt the Republicans the whole way. If he goes to Georgia, I don't know if he's going tomorrow or today or tomorrow, but he's hurting the Republican Party right now by even showing up. You don't show up for nothing else, but you want to show up for the runoff for what? It ain't even got nothing to do with you. It don't. Your voting election party is over. And some people are like, well, he brings people out. Yeah, is he going to wear a mask and bring people out? Probably not. He's a super spreader.
To be fair, Bojo's the same. Like I said, I tweeted when he was getting on a plane, where's your mask? You know, I've only seen him wear one once when he was coming out of 10 Downing Street. And that's it. The rest of the time, he's jetting off around the world to sort out the bloody Brexit deal. And he ain't got no mask on. You know, and even if he says I'm on a private plane, there's a man standing at the bottom of the stairs, security, that's going to get on that plane with you. You mean to tell me when you're sat on that plane, there ain't cabin crew that's going to come and say, yo, mate, do you want a drink? Do you want a cup of tea, coffee, whatever? Even if she's got a mask on, where's his mask? You know, you've got to practice what you preach.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he's expecting us to hand out our arm and stab it up when he can't even wear a mask.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of people who want to lead from the front. And, you know, you got all these chiefs and not enough Indians. Everybody wants to be in charge, but then nobody wants to listen. And I'm telling you, it's hurting our country by not just put the people first. That's what everybody's just asking for. Put us first. You know, we live here. You know what I mean? To me, a president right now is just a spokesperson for the world, for us. He's a spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
He writes some stuff up that he might want to get done. It goes through the House and then they vote on it. Then it goes to the Senate. Then if they vote on it and it is to go, then it gets passed. You see what I'm saying? The president is just a spokesperson, people. That's it. If you know what I mean, like he is supposed to represent us to the fullest. And if you can, and you American people, if y'all can look in the mirror and say that Trump really is a representation of America, I don't know what to tell you. He's a representation of us. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. That's just me. Because I mean, it's just sad. It's sad. You got some, I mean, you know, the pandemic has really, you know, you really don't know how it affects you until it hits home. I've done had brother, sister, cousins, aunts. I've had friends who lost their parents. You know what I mean? I've had people who have died from this pandemic, and yet we still trying to figure out how people are going to eat, how people are going to pay their bills. We got businesses closing every day. Like we said, the $600 stimulus is $1.46 a day. Who lives off $1.46? That's what the $600 is. $1.46 a day. Do the math. So what you think?
Jeez, I couldn't live on $1.46 a day.
$1.46? I don't even think that's bus fare.
That's
Here.
probably bus fare one way, not
Yeah,
not return ticket.
I remember back in the day, you can get transferred for a nickel.
Well, I used to be able to get the pound back for
It used to be
25p.
70. I remember it used to be 75 cents, and then it used to be $1, and then you had a 10 cent for a transfer. So just imagine $1.46, people. $600 is $1.46 a day.
Well, that's definitely food for thought to leave people with.
Mm-hmm.
But we will.
That was some deep stuff right there, y'all. Ooh, the air got thick up in here.
We got a little bit heated on our subjects.
Man, wasn't it?
Yes. But no, come Friday's show, we ain't gonna keep harping on about it, but we will just because we can't just have a whole show about it and then nothing gets said. So I mean, by next, well, you can't say anything really until the 20th. But Friday, I'll be able to let you know what's occurring in the country. You know, like did the kids go to school?
I'm gonna tell you right now, people, I'm over it. I just can't wait for the new president to come in office and just look. Let's get back to business. He says I want this pandemic under control. So I'm really looking forward to see what he's talking about. I'm really looking forward to see what he's talking about as far as economy. I just want to know what's going on.
And to be fair,
Get
for
this
your
dude out of
sake,
here.
for your
I hope
sake,
he disappears.
I really hope this new guy comes through. You know, like because I know that politicians on any side of the pond talk a good game until they actually get in the seat, and then it just all goes up to Swanee. So I hope that he does what he said he's going to do, and actually, in Trump's words, makes America great again.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, make America great. Mm-hmm. Well, all right now.
All right, can we just say before we go, we really, really appreciate everyone that's continuing to vote for us on the podcast awards.
Oh, yes.
Votes seem to be coming in thick and fast. Well, we don't know how many, but I certainly keep getting messages that people are voting for us. So
yes, don't forget, people, we got the Viewers Choice Awards. It ends on January the 11th. We're gonna push that again. We're gonna put it through. We're gonna push it through the street.
Spit it out.
Push it on the streets, yo.
Yes.
We're gonna put it on the streets. Vote for us. Like again, we've been nominated for Best Entertaining.
I think we're entertaining, even if no one else does. So
yeah, I find us to be a tad bit hilarious.
And if you haven't watched the movie review yet, it's uploaded on the YouTube show.
That was great. I'm waiting to hear what the radio has to say about our review. I think we did good because we did get a lot of responses about how the movie.
We have. Good. Some people have watched it, but everybody who's watched it has agreed that it's a great film. So good to see that just practiced.
Who knew that we had skills?
We're literally on point with our with our review.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna keep it coming.
We got you, man.
I hate to say this. Should I say it?
Oh my God, I don't know what you're gonna say.
Okay. This is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are from across the pond. Can we hear it one more? Let's hear it.
We're gonna hear it every time.
Every time. Across the pond with Rich and Soph. All right. Now holler at me if you're ready to go. Across the pond with Rich and Soph.
soap. All right. Now holler at me if you ready to go. Hey. Across the pond with rich and soap. All right. Now holler at me if you ready to go. Hey. Across the pond with rich and soap. All right. All right.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should get a little dance to go with it, you know.
I don't know. This is my dance right here. I love this shit.
Oh,
right here.
yeah. Okay, well, you can just do the rich dance to it then.
All right, people. Look, y'all have a blessed week.
Yes.
We'll see you guys on Friday.
Stay safe. Mask up.
Mask up. Don't go nowhere if you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Hug your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Call your parents. Love on everyone.
Have a lovely week, Rich.
Hey, you too. Have a lovely week, Soph.
Thank you.